What is going on, everyone? Look at this beast. Now you might think, the camera doesn't really do it justice, but this tank is 800 gallons. It is 10 feet by 4 feet by, I believe, 24 tall. It is a absolute, no, it's probably 30 tall, actually. It is a beast. The craziest part about this tank is that the sump is downstairs. We're on a second floor right now. We are supporting nearly 10,000 gallons on a second floor. Let's go check out that setup. Oh yeah, by the way, there's a second tank. We put this one in as well. This is a 350 gallon, and this is the small tank. A 350 gallon for most people is just monstrous, but this is the small tank of the two, and this is an in the wall, I believe it is, it's an 8-foot tank. I think it's 24 front to back, and then I believe 30 tall. I don't know the actual dimensions off the top of my head, but that's what it seems like. But this is the filtration room for both tanks. Here's the tank, and look at this setup. Now this is what I call a fish room. So this is the 350. It comes around to this. And then the 800 gallon drains down into this. So currently I'm standing underneath that aquarium. Like that is right there. We even put a steel beam to support it extra. The nerves that I feel walking into this basement, I just cannot describe. Like I seem, cheery because it's YouTube, I gotta make it seem good, but inside I am freaking out because there's 10,000 pounds above me. 10,000 pounds of aquarium just above me. It's just madness. Now I definitely didn't install all of this by myself. In fact, I did a lot of the just minor intricate details. Our team at Shelf Aquatics absolutely blew this out of the park. It looks absolutely incredible. So happy and proud with how this came out. This is an insane custom system. I'm gonna walk you guys through it. This is gonna be a very short video. There's not much to do because, we already installed it all. We were on a very tight crunch because, we're in Pennsylvania right now, so our store's in Orlando, so we flew up here, so whatever we had. They had to make their flights. I'm from up here, so I'm staying for a bit longer, make sure everything's running smoothly, but it was very small time crunch. There was no time for filming, just had to get it done. But let me walk you through this system. Ignore the mess over here. This is gonna be a water mixing station that I'm gonna be plumbing right now. But the 350 has 3 main drains, or 1 main drain, 2 emergencies that come over to here into a reef mat. We got a biomedia reactor, 2 reactors, big reef octo skimmer. This is going to be a refugium section. Then we have the main frame of the apex. There's the board, helio heater. That's the air pump for the media reactor. UV sterilizer ballast over here. Power supplies, 2 L2s back here. Solenoid for the fresh water out of there. And that hose comes all the way. You can see it tees off to the other tank. Comes over and down the wall there. Power supplies for the radions over here. And then 2 MP40s. Boom. And then one's on the other side. So this tank is going to be a fish-only predator tank. It's just going to be a lot of nice angels. We're going to do a pair of epaulet sharks because they kind of crawl around on the bottom so they don't take up too much swimming space. Do a couple eels, small groupers in here. No such thing as a small grouper, but nothing too crazy in here, but it's gonna be mostly fish only, whereas the tank upstairs is gonna be an 800 gallon reef tank. He already has some crazy stuff. Actually, I'll just show you what he has. So he had a 150 and 120 gallon tank, took them down and put everything into these. So these 3 bins are all plumbed together. Look at the big puff right there. What else we got? You can see the Naso down there. I believe there's a Harlequin. Yep, there's a Harlequin tusk. There's a big powder blue sail fin, purple tang over there. So nothing too crazy rare, but he's really got some nice healthy fish back here. And that's all going into these tanks once they're fully cycled. So he's got a pretty nice collection already. Now here's a water mixing station. Each tank is going to be getting its own salt because one's a reef tank, one's a fish only. So save some money, use different salts in each tank. So the big bin is obviously for the big reef tank. That's going to be reef crystals. And then this one is going to be for the 350 predator fish only, and that's going to be instant ocean. But the way that I did this was that so the freshwater bin can get pumped in, let me back up a little bit. Freshwater bin can get pumped into both bins. So it's going to come through up the pipe. Now this is so you can get a hose, that hose there, and feed to the sumps on the water changes. So it's going to come up into there for that one, or tee off, and there's a valve over here into there. And then these can come over, and you can close them and circle them, whatever you feel like. Now, if you're gonna wonder why there's a gate valve there and ball valves everywhere else, it's simply because we ran out of ball valves and I'm here by myself, so I had to improvise. And that one's not gonna use as much because there is RO lines feeding both of these tanks. So when he wants to do a water change, he doesn't necessarily have to fill this up and pump it over. He can just run those RO lines and it'll go into those tanks separately. So that makes it a lot easier for the customer. Now over here is the RDI unit. It's kind of a mess right now because they're reframing all this. It's gonna hang about here, but you can see it's back there for now, being fed by the sink. Booster is gonna be for the demand power into the RODI or the ATOs for both tanks, both which you can see are off the solenoids. Now on this tank, you can see the apex. These are the main drains here. So we have a main drain, obviously with the gate valve, and then the two emergencies come up through the pipes, through the floor, down into 3 reef mats, media reactor, and then another reactor. Nope, it's another media reactor. Then this is the steel beam that supports the tank. Again, I am underneath the tank. Mom, if you're watching, I'm fine. I'm safe. We have an algae scrubber here. I don't think the lights are on right now. Nope. This can go there. This is gonna be like a frag zone or something, but it's got the heaters in there. It's gonna be 2,000 watt heaters. It looks like 4 because each one of them is 500. What else we got? And then we have 2 Abyss pumps. We have 2 Abyss pumps. Those are gonna be the main returns that go up, over, and back upstairs. Those are just main returns to the tank. And then we have a core, 2 core 20s. One is coming up here and is going to feed the UV sterilizer as well as teeing off into the externally plumbed skimmer. And then we have a core 20 that's feeding the algae scrubber and then both reactors as well. So right now I am pumping water out of this giant barrel into that amazing custom sump. We gotta make a lot of water for this big tank. So we have to drain these and mix water like 6 times to fill up that big tank. It's gonna be a long process to fill it up, but the tank upstairs is for the most part filled. We probably got like another 100 gallons to fill it up. So I'm hoping between these 2 barrels behind me that we actually have enough water to get this thing fired up. Okay, so just turn the pumps on and one of them is running. Oh my God, these blues are terrible. Let me turn them off real quick. All right, so we got one side running. We got the flow coming from there and over there. So one pump works. Really, I'm just testing it out right now. I just need to pump all that salt water from the sump into the tank above, so I can pump more salt water into the sump because I don't have really another way to do it. Okay, now we got the second pump running. Let's check it out. It's coming out there and coming out there. This is just a masterpiece of a tank. Quick shout out to Kevin from Shelf Aquatics. for this absolutely insane custom rock structure. Now again, I'm sorry I didn't film a lot of the install. It's just because we were on a time crunch. As you can tell, I'm by myself right now because they had to catch their flights. I'm actually headed to New York City right now, where I hopefully will go see some, aquarium stores in New York City. I haven't been there in years. I'm originally from up here, but I haven't been in New York City in a while, so I haven't seen aquarium stores, in the new era with all the LEDs and electronics up in New York yet, so I can't wait to go check those out. So here at Manhattan Aquariums, let's go check it out. This whole wall is saltwater fish. Purple tang, majestic, aster, losis. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video here. I'm here at the vessel in New York City, but I hope you enjoyed this absolutely insane project. This was an absolute one-of-a-kind build. Definitely something you want to rewatch. And if you want it for yourself, definitely hit me up. We can definitely make those dreams come to a reality. But hit the subscribe button so you can see more of these projects. Like, comment what your favorite part was, and I'll see you next time.